With a legacy of diplomacy and now at the helm of Israel's life-saving services, please welcome former Ambassador Gilad Erdan, President of Magen David Adom.
Every time I come here, I recall everything that happened that minute, and it was very, very sad. I lost my daughter at the soccer field. This is my daughter with all her friends, 12 stars, who fell on July 27th when the field was hit by a missile. When I entered, this is the first place I came to. I saw my daughter lying on the grass here, not breathing, lifeless. I stood beside her, then fell to the ground and asked her forgiveness for not being able to help her. I had friends here beside me. I asked them to bring blankets to cover the child, and then we heard screams. I said, I need to take a deep breath. There are still children screaming on the soccer field, needing help. And for me, MDA is in the blood. The first ones I reached were dead, unrecognizable. I left them and found a severely wounded child with massive bleeding from his leg. I applied a tourniquet and stopped the bleeding. Soon, all the MDA medical teams arrived, and then I stayed by my daughter's side until they took her from the field. My family took it very hard, because I would always tell them, nothing will happen to us. This is my wife, Inaya.
When I look at the children, I see that there are 12 children missing. I look every morning and cry about the situation we've reached. They just want to play.
We believe in reincarnation. We believe in fate. That this is what God wrote for us. This is our fate. But our fate didn't let us continue this dream.
Former Ambassador Gilad Erdan, did you miss New York?
A little bit.
Well, the city sure missed
Israel is our home, and I hope all of the people here would one day, God willing, join us
Amen,
in Israel.
amen.
This is our only homeland.
So after having spent 4 years at the United Nations and concurrently as ambassador to the United States in 2021, you now serve as the global ambassador for Magen David Adom, a very different organization than the United Nations. Share with us, if you can, some of your most important takeaways from your work at the UN first.
Oh, wow. My main takeaway from the UN, so let's make it very short because I want to get to Magen David Adom. My main takeaway from my term at the UN is that the UN today not only lost its way, it has become a weapon in the hands of rogue states and dictators, and it must be completely defunded and dismantled and replaced by a new organization that will be called the League of Democracies. And I'll explain briefly why. The UN, you know, it was founded in the aftermath of the Holocaust, and it was meant to prevent atrocities and defend human rights. But it had a completely different political makeup. It started with 51 member states. Throughout the years, the political makeup has changed dramatically. Now it has 193 countries. People are not aware of the fact that 1/3 of them are Muslim countries. More than half are non-democracies. So what's the outcome? Total moral distortion. Israel receives every year 70% of the UN's condemnation. Iran is getting elected to lead a social forum on the Human Rights Council together with Somalia and Cuba. Lebanon was selected to be the president of the International Court of Justice. And I have so many examples. But the most troubling thing is that who pays for this crazy institution? We are, all of us, the democratic world. The United States is still the biggest funder of the UN, $19 billion every year out of $74 billion. So now it's the time, I conclude, that when we have now President Trump, and he already pulled out of the Human Rights Council and from the World Health Organization, WHO, and he's defunded again UNRWA, this is the time to convince him, to convince DOGE, the organization that he established to save money, kick out the UN outside of New York, erode their legitimacy, and defund the UN completely. The time has come.
So you've done tremendous work during your time at the United Nations, also throughout the war. You and your team, you managed to change the news cycle, do something very rare during the war with the session.
With your help also.
Thank you. An incredible session that focused, really brought to light the sexual assault against women that took place on October 7th. And after all of this work, you decided to become a global ambassador for Magen David Adom.
Global president.
Global president, I should say, right. Talk to us about this role and why did you take this decision?
You know, it was an easy decision because after 4 years fighting for Israel in an organization of pure evil, I felt that I want to continue my battle, my fight for Israel, but do it for an organization that represents pure good. And what can be better than saving lives? But it's not only about an organization that Magen David Adom is an organization of pure good. It's about the fact that today Magen David Adom is more important for the future of the Jewish state than ever. And I learned it firsthand as Minister of Homeland Security, because today the strategy of our enemies is not only to weaponize international organizations in order to tie our hands and prevent us from defeating our enemies, is who do they want to attack? They understand that they cannot defeat the IDF on the conventional battlefield. They aim to terrorize the home front, the civilians, the communities. That's why they, were equipped with GoPro cameras on October 7th, and they posted their atrocities online because they want to terrorize our civilian citizens and drive us away in fear from our homeland. And when you understand their strategy, you also understand that the most important thing now is to strengthen the home front, the first responders. And it's not a coincidence that, sadly, it was tragic. Dozens of Magen David Adom paramedics and teams and volunteers paid the ultimate price. They were killed while they were treating people and saving their lives. So many people were inspired by the story of our paramedic Amit Man, who continued to save lives until her last breath. We found her body still with her gloves on. And I told her story from the stage of the United Nations. So today, I truly believe that Magen David Adom represents the backbone of Israel's resilience, national resilience. It's really the fabric of our resilience, and I'm so privileged and honored to lead Magen David Adom in this crucial time and era.
I just want really briefly to, Yoni, I know you're here, I know you're on about the time, but this past week has been so full.
We have only 2 more questions.
So, no, just,
sit down,
we'll do
sit
one
down.
more, just one. No, he won't. Just something, full of uncertainty. President Trump wants to visit Gulf nations, the Emirates, Saudi, Qatar, and he wants to emerge as a deal maker, making lots of business headlines, but also as a peacemaker in the region. And we all follow his efforts and the administration's efforts in that respect. And I know that some media reports sort of try to highlight daylight, or the fact that Washington and Jerusalem not necessarily see eye to eye in terms of priorities these days. I'm not sure if it's right, but you, as a former ambassador to the United Nations, what can you tell us in that respect to some people in this audience who might be worried of where things are heading?
So let me combine 2 answers because I have to say one more thing about Magen David Adom. Magen David Adom today is among the best life-saving organizations in the world. But for Israel, it's not enough. For Israel, we must have the best rescue organization, the best emergency medical organization on earth. And we are heading there. And you should know that we did it with your help. For so many years, American Jews supported Magen David Adom. We are not funded by the government, and today we are equipped with, the most advanced and technological blood bank in the world, fortified, underground, can function under barrage of rockets. We have an AI dispatch center that can respond to thousands of calls at the same time simultaneously, but it's not enough. We will be the #1 life-saving organization with your help. So I would like to thank everyone here who helped Magen David Adom throughout the years. And regarding President Trump, which is very important to understand. Look, for many years I believed that leaders have to be bold and sincere. I was bold and sincere when it comes to speaking the truth at the UN. And we have to continue telling the truth even when we are talking with our closest allies. And definitely, President Trump is one of the most best friends, supporters, allies that Israel ever had. We owe him a lot, and we are grateful for him. But we cannot ignore that he is the President of the United States, and sometimes when you are looking for economic achievements, gains, it might be at the expense of Israel. And exactly as he's taking care and defending American interests, we have to defend our own interests. So I want to call him from this stage, because I think he's making two grave mistakes today. Number one, this is not the time to sign a deal with Iran. This is the time for military action. This is the time to strike Iran when they are at their weakest point ever. A deal with Iran doesn't worth the paper that it will be signed on, because they will either lie to him or wait until the next president. So don't kick the can down the road again. Let's make sure that this regime will be replaced. And if he orders to strike Iran, he will make history, because it will secure the future of the Middle East. And number two, well, I really don't know how to say it, but
Just go for it.
I would like to tell President Trump, please don't take Air Force One, don't accept a plane from the people who funded the perpetrators of October 7th, the Qatari supporters of terrorism. Who cannot understand that this plane, the leader of the free democratic world, is going to travel around the globe on a plane that was founded by terror supporters? I cannot accept it. I hope he will think about it thoroughly. And I believe that my conclusion, I think it's all of us, should be our conclusion after October 7th, that we cannot rely on anyone else other than ourselves. We have to be self-sufficient. We have to make sure that we have all the means to fight for our survival. And one of those means is also Jewish unity, because when Israelis and Jews are united, we can move mountains. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Am Yisrael
very
Chai.
much. Am Yisrael Chai. I call upon the team of the Jerusalem Conference for the Jerusalem Award for Magen David Adom Mada. Thank you very much.